Okay, Jay Croucher here with Grant Liffmann to talk about the Golden State Warriors, potential best free agent fits as they look to do something with the end of Stephen Curry's prime. Grant, who are your three favorite free agent fits for the Warriors?
Well, it really comes down to positionally what do they need, and they actually need quite a bit. With Jimmy Butler being hurt, with Moses Moody being hurt, Jonathan Kuminga has moved on. There's a lot of openings right now for the Golden State Warriors. Now, one thing I have heard is there's positive momentum about Kristaps Porzingis potentially coming back and re-signing with the Golden State Warriors, which would be a huge piece for them at the end of the day to add him at the center spot and his shooting. They're still waiting to hear about what Al Horford will do, what DeAnthony Melton will do. That all matters. This team needs athleticism and youth. The bad news, that's not where you're going to find it, is in free agency. That, unfortunately, would be in the trade market where they don't have many ways to add talent based on the contracts they have on their books. So let's look at three guys that could fit. And number one, I'm just not going to hide from this, LeBron James. He fits perfectly for what they are looking for. I mean, it's really at this point, it's LeBron James. I don't know if I have to describe why he fits, but let's just say this. At 41 years old, in the playoffs, he averaged practically 23, 7 and 7 and lifted a Lakers team that were just down bad. So LeBron James fits everything the Golden State Warriors are looking for. Will he leave the Lakers? You know, there's a lot of skepticism about whether he would. But the Warriors are the favorites to get him if he decides to leave. And they can maneuver things, and they can also make it set up that they can do the non-taxpayer mid-level exception if they do it right to get him there. They could pay him a little bit more than the minimum, and that matters. So LeBron James, they need ball handling. They need everything pretty much on Golden State Warriors. And there's the player that has been most famous for doing everything. And that is why many consider him the GOAT. Second is a name that many Warriors fans probably aren't as familiar with. And it's not going to be some sexy name where you're looking for a high flyer dunker or something. And if you even look at the stats, it doesn't necessarily say a guy that's going to be a huge impact. But that's what he is a big impact. And that's Dean Wade. Dean Wade from the Cleveland Cavaliers is a big wing. And that is something that the Warriors just do not have besides Guy Santos pretty much at this point when Jimmy Butler is hurt. Dean Wade is a physical body. Analytically, he comes in and has made a real impact for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He guards, he rebounds, he passes, and he actually is a solid shooter. He's a career 37% three-point shooter, a little streaky, but he is somebody that when he is out there, he helps your team win. He is a smart player, high basketball IQ, scrappy, does all the things, and Cleveland loved having him out there. So Dean Wade is somebody that I would consider a high priority for a team like the Warriors, but he is somebody that will command a money that is probably more in the mid-level exception, non-taxpayer mid-level exception for someone like him. The big thing that Warriors fans probably don't want to hear is that injury prone. That's been his biggest issue. He hasn't played over 60 games in the last 5 seasons, so that is one thing. But if we're looking at the maybe more just looking the back end, more the vet minimum world, I think Jock Landale would be a great fit for the Golden State Warriors. A do-it-all center, more offensively minded center, but he can pass, he can shoot. He really has more to his game. And from three last season, he shot about 38% from three. And that for him is a big deal because if he can expand that game and really confidently shoot that ball, which he showed a little bit, especially with the Hawks later in the season, I think he could be a great fit with the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, no, always down for the Jock Landale references, the pride of Geelong Grammar School, about 40 minutes from where I grew up in Melbourne, Grant. But look, I'm with, and also with Jock, he was injured towards the end of the season, and that really hurt the Hawks down the stretch and into the playoffs. But I think the Warriors, I think that, when you're in their business of, the last year or two of Stephen Curry's, he's still post-prime at this point, but he's still playing at an all-NBA level. And when you have Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green on the team, what you're wanting to do is hit home runs. And I think the only two real home run swings potentially for them, one, LeBron, which you laid out, gets to stay in California and have a different flavor of California, but would be, the biggest story in the NBA, the offseason, if he pairs up with Steph and Jimmy and Draymond. And then the other one is just bringing back Kristaps Porzingis, because he is as high variance as it gets. The all-in-one metrics on Kristaps still paint an all-star level player when he is out there on the court. And if he can just stay healthy, the Warriors, I think, will have a hard time finding anyone better than him on the free agent market. So I'm with you absolutely on LeBron. I think the Warriors should certainly entertain bringing Kristaps back. We'll leave it there on the Warriors. Those were potential free agent fits.
Hit subscribe for more news, highlights, and analysis from the NBA on NBC.